We'll call our meeting to order this evening. Everyone will rise for the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, the first order of business tonight is the approval of our minutes from the previous meeting.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, Andy?
All right, underwater plant street at 1,193,680 gallons of water since March 28th. Our average daily usage is 41,161. Filters were backwashed on April 6th, 13th, and 24th. The meter's been read for the month of April. Our March water report's complete. It's been submitted to IDEM. The April back tee's complete and was absent. The team insert valve on Adams for next project are complete, and the water main passed both back tees and is in service. We had our pre-bid meeting today for the water project, and we'll open bids next Wednesday. Your wastewater been performing daily checks at the lift station and the sewer plant. Sewer plant's open, we are discharging. Chlorination system is on and it's working perfectly. The weekly sewer samples are complete, and I'm going to be ordering biobugs for the ponds. It's going to be $4,440 to treat for the season. Under streets, we're working with Arcadia, and we will be repairing our potholes. I was going to say tomorrow, but it's actually going to be Thursday now. And I'm working with Jonathan Moen at Triad on the next round of paving grants. The date's not been released yet, but it's going to be soon, so we're going to need to figure out how much we're throwing at this. You know, we have that extra money, and then I don't know what else we have. And also, I mean, we didn't buy any salt this year, so I'm hoping there's some extra money from not buying salt. But at some point, we need to get a total figure from you guys to let him know.
Got that matching grant.
Yeah, it's gonna be, they had talked about doing an 80-20, and now they backed off of that, and they're gonna be a 50-50, so everything, the last one was 50-50 last year. This one will be a 50-50, so whatever we can throw at it, we're gonna get, you know, back. So the more will be the better for us. Started spraying weeds in alleys, and we've also started ordinance mowing. I did meet with the engineer from Duke Energy about the street lights at the entrances to the subdivision. He informed me that the lighting department only has 2 people for the entire Midwest, and it could take them 2 months to get a price. So I haven't heard anything back yet. As soon as I do, I'll be passing it along to you. You know, he threw some numbers out there. He said, I'm not holding you to this, but the one on county line depends on the transformer, whether they can go to a sub base or they gotta go all the way back to the transformer. And we're gonna be in the 7 to 12,000 range. And the one out by Dollar General, he was checking, they got some kind of, they call it fast track lighting. And he did check to see if that was the location that's approved for that. It is not, but that one is gonna be in the 35. It's gonna be easier with 35 to 5 range. But we won't know until he doesn't set the price, and he doesn't work in the lighting department. He came out to check the situation. He writes a report up to submit to them, and we will get back, and it will tell us what the options are and what it is. And as soon as we get something, I will forward it to you. Then Nick Harris is going to be repairing the sidewalk at the post office, the lift station, and one on Meridian that we have to dig up for water repair. The total cost on that is going to be about $1,100. Nick's cost for labor is $550. So it's going to be concrete, rebar, and stuff, which I'm figuring is going to put us in about the $1,100 range. When it's all said and done. Locks for the ball diamond are in. I'm gonna be installing those as soon as possible. They were a little bit cheaper. They came in at $12.50, so it was about $250 less than what they originally told me on the phone. We hauled one load of scrap from the ball diamond, and we got one more. We're gonna get the rest of it here this week. And then I'd still like you guys to consider demolishing the Bloodsoe property on Railroad. It's falling apart down there, and we've already put a lot of time and money into this thing. So Steve Hartley will still honor his bid.
What was this?
Like 12,400, I think is what it was on that one. Then under building, had 2 inspections, 2 electrical inspections, 1 permit inquiry, 1 zoning inquiry. The March and April census reports have been submitted. And then I'm gonna be doing the final inspection on Beck's seasonal housing facility this Friday. They about got everything wrapped up out there. That's all I have. Unless you have any questions?
Anybody? All right, we'll move on to our code enforcement report.
Issued 18 notices, been focusing on unmowed lawns and vehicles. Took care of a problem, hopefully for the last time today. I've been over there 3 times dealing with somebody running a cord across an alley, trying to power their house off of a neighbor's house. Hopefully that's the last time. If not, I will get I'll be getting the police involved on that one too. And then I'm going forward, if there's some property cleanup that needs to happen, I'll be trying to address those here pretty soon. And then some blind corners, I've addressed one already, I think. So, trying to address the remainder.
Robin, do you have anything? Okay. Move on to old business. Steve, you're here just in time.
Yeah, glad to hear that. How's everybody doing today?
Doing well.
Good. It's a nice day out there. It's hard to be inside on days like this.
Sure is.
I have a whole lot to talk about. We hear obviously about the water project, and just kind of an update on where we are, and give you some more paper, because everybody likes paper. Give you something to read at night, put you right to sleep. This is the form of my water rate report, and it's different from what I've shown you before, in that it actually uses the test year, which is the most recent 12-month period of the water works, which is 2016. And I'm testing that to make sure that your revenues are sufficient to pay your expensive operation, maintenance, repair, and replacement. And then as we move on with the project, we want to make sure, necessary in order to close with the funding for the project, that we show that your rates are sufficient to operate. What these funding agencies don't want is to give you money and then find out that you can't operate. So we want to make sure, and that's what this study does, is to show that your current rates are sufficient to pay for your annual expenses of operation, maintenance, repair, replacement, debt service on your current debt. And then we look at this next piece of debt. I can't drop that in yet, because I don't know what it's gonna be. We don't have construction bids yet, but we will in a couple weeks. And when we get those construction bids, I'll put them in there. Now,
Next Wednesday.
next Wednesday?
Yep.
Even better. The key page in this whole thing is gonna be page 21, and then again on page, page 21, 26. 21 is really your budget statement, I call revenue requirement statement, because the state statute calls these revenue requirements. Title of the Indiana Code lists the items that you can include to justify your utility budget, and therefore a rate increase. So that's a dirty word here. I know it's a dirty word here, but I had to say it. If we look at the first column, we're looking at no new debt, and we're right on. You know, our budget, operation, maintenance, about $105,000. We've got working capital. We've got extensions and replacements. It's a short-term asset replacement schedule. We've got your water meter lease. We've got the payment due of taxes. We've got the debt service on the existing debt. And then we've got a return on plant, which is really an inflation component to make those rates last a certain amount of time. I usually pick 3 years, and that's a 3-year rate. So you're right on. Your revenues equal your budget, which is really good, especially for moving on. It means we don't need to do anything to justify the current rates. The current rates are right on budget. Then we add on the project, and on our previous page, on page here, page 10, page 9. Page 9, we've got estimated project cost of $1.3 million project. We've got on page 10, we've got a $700,000 local grant that's in our pocket, and we've got a promise from the SRF that we talked about for the remainder of the $685. I'm showing various different amounts here because the SRF doesn't generally give 100% grants out, but we're going to try to push them to see if they'll do that. They've put money aside on $685,000 worth for us, so that but we're going to wait and see what the construction bids come in. If the construction bids come in more than the estimated project cost of $1.3 million, there may be a little bit of a rate increase involved because they won't give us any more money than that $685. If it comes in right on budget, then they may talk about wanting us to see a small rate increase, and I'm going to try to talk them out of that, and that's what I dealt with. And if it comes in less than that, then they may just back off the amount of the grant and give you the whole amount. So I'll know better when we get the construction bids in, and we know what the actual cost of the project is, and then we can move forward. Now, this construction bid's going to do 3 things. It can be right on the engineer's estimate, they can be over the engineer's estimate, it can be below the engineer's estimate. And our goal here is to try to get this project done with absolutely no, or we have to have a little bit of a rate increase. Just going to show you just on page 26 where everything kind of comes in at. And we're currently at Indiana Department of Environmental Management says that the typical, in Indiana, the typical water user uses 4,000 gallons of water a month. And here in Atlanta, you would use less than that, but they always use 4,000, and they base all their reviews on that 4,000 level. So at 4,000, a user in Atlanta would be paying $61.42 currently for water. And then if we go all the way across to, if we get our full grant, we're right there about the same thing, 61.52 I'm showing, yeah, but
10 cents.
yeah, 10 cents. But I can work that away. If we get that close, I can make that go away. But if they try to back off some of what they've already given us, I wanted to show you, maybe if they only give us 500,000 instead of 685, then we'd have maybe a $4 increase. And I know that's more than you want to see, and I know that. And I'm pushing against that. We'll have to see what that final offer is going to be when we come in with our construction bids and I file the final information. So today, I'm just really here to kind of remind you that I'm out there working for you, and that we're getting close now, and things are going to happen quickly. We've got some definite due dates coming up with the State Revolving Loan Fund that actually predate OCRA. So OCRA says as long as you make the ESSER updates, we're fine. And those dates would be that June 6th is the last pre-closing date, and June 19th is the last loan closing date. So we have to have all the information into them about 30 days prior to June 6th. And so we can pre-close on June 6th because they require 30 days to look at the information. So that's why things are getting close. You know, we're getting our construction bids in May. We have to have 30 days before June 6th in order to have them review all this stuff. So it's a really tight schedule, which is why I'm kind of here today, reminding you where things are and how we're moving forward and what's going on. But the good news is that you're going to get a $1.3 million water construction project for almost no money out of pocket, and maybe no money out of pocket, which is what our goal is. So, yeah, we'll see. It's huge. It's huge. A lot of communities like to write where you are, because it never happens.
So the bid opening is May, which is the
May
third.
3rd.
So then we have 3 days.
Well,
Do
I'm gonna
something?
push them a little bit. I'm pretty good about pushing the state law, it's fun.
Okay.
I'm gonna pre-file some of this information, so we'll look at it first, and then update the rate study portion. This is just a small portion of what they require for me to look at for a loan closing. It's generally a binder that's about 2.5 inches thick, and they can look at the rest of that stuff prior to the bid opening. And so I'll be filing that with them, so they don't have to look at all of it in that 30-day period, because there are other communities that are just like you that are trying to do the same thing in a pretty tight schedule, and that kind of backs them up. But I've been keeping in touch with them, I've been talking to them, letting them know we're coming in, and they're all aware of it, and all aware of the schedule is. And the only wild card here is what those construction bids are gonna be when they open up. And hopefully, their engineer's gonna be right on spec, and they're gonna come in the way we want it to, or less, and we'll be in really good shape. That's all I have, just kind of let you know I'm still out there, it's still moving forward, but it's getting close. Things are gonna happen pretty fast and furiously pretty quick.
Well, as you know, obviously we were concerned with rates,
Yeah.
as we've talked from day one. We want to take advantage of this money at the same time,
Yeah,
not,
you don't want that rate
not
impact,
burden our citizens with any more.
sure. The good news, and why we've got a chance at even getting 100% grant money from the SRF, is that you are above what they generally target for an affordability level for user fees. And that's generally around $45 or $50. So you're way above their affordability index if you try to buy down to. So they're not a grant program, they're a loan program for grant money. So it's a little different for them to make an offer to someone to have 100% grant money. Not once before, but there is a governmental entity involved that is benefiting also from the loan. So we're pushing here. You know, it's okay with me. I'm glad we're pushing. So we can get a benefit for that man taking it. And that's what we're trying to do. Trying to keep those rates as moderate as possible.
Once the bids, you actually get the bid on it, and you're gonna do a rate study, how long does that take?
Take me about 2 days.
So it's not a long
Yeah.
drawn out thing?
That's why I do all this up front. So
Okay.
I just change numbers and it's on a spreadsheet and everything's pretty much repositions and recalculates, and then I just review it to make sure that something that's supposed to recalculate did recalculate. And the main thing I'm gonna be doing is showing the numbers that come in with the construction bids and pushing as hard as I can to get them to give us as much of that grant to make it 100% grant instead of a loan. But I'm not
You
mistaken.
could do it.
There we go. Thank you.
Is there
Thank you.
something that we're supposed to be doing? I do not want to drop the ball.
Well, if there is a moderate or small amount of rate increase, we would have to pass a rate ordinance, have a public hearing that has to be noticed 10 days prior to that public hearing, and then adopt those rates afterwards. Again, we've got to show them that if they're gonna give us this money, that we can maintain that asset. If there's any debt involved, that we can pay that debt back. Now, the other thing that the state revolving loan fund is gonna look at is that we've got current debt outstanding with them that we had in 2005. So they're gonna be looking at this report to make sure that we can, that we're gonna operate, we're doing well paying back that old loan, which we can do a great all along at, and there's no problem there. And this report will substantiate that. Again, the only thing that's gonna come, the only two things we have now to decide is, and determine is what the construction bids are gonna be. And then doing our best to talk the state revolving loan fund and forgiveness, all that forgiveness next time, to see how well we do with that. No promises. So, again, pretty soon things are gonna start happening, they're gonna happen pretty quickly, so it's gonna come here, more.
Neela?
How much is a modest rate increase?
Well, if it goes perfect, 10 cents.
Oh,
We'll never.
and sometimes modest means
Yeah.
$15.
His,
Yeah.
no, his worst case scenario is 4.94.
I don't wanna see that.
will be,
For 4,000 gallons.
Yeah.
so Lord, it could be even less than that, depending on your usage.
The good news is we're gonna get $1.3 million. Maybe paying a little bit more.
25 more fire hydrants. We're gonna have fire hydrants where there aren't any.
That's huge.
It is huge. It's gonna, we do this once it's done. We met with ISO this year already. They will come back and reevaluate us. We already got a better rating this year. And this, he's already told me that we'll give us even better rating, which affects everyone's insurance. The better our ISO rating is, the cheaper your homeowner's insurance is. If we have 27 fire hydrants now, so we'll double it.
Thanks, Steve.
Good to see you. I'll see you again pretty soon.
Okay,
And hopefully I'll have better news for you.
appreciate the information.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, we have the Northern Hamilton County Chamber of Commerce with us tonight. So, welcome.
Thank you.
You're
I'm Ann Kuze, and I am the president of the chamber.
Okay.
And last time you got to hear from Greg Morgan. Unfortunately, his spouse has had some serious health conditions, and so he has had to pull away to deal with that situation. So I'm here representing the chamber. And what I wanted to do is just kind of go back through kind of what was proposed before and kind of where we're at right now and get some input. I also have Terry Milbank here and Catherine Heller. She's the executive director at the Northern Hamilton County Chamber with me tonight. I have Liz Nelson that's on standby, owns Mr. Muffins, and so she's eager to hear about this and excited about it. I didn't know much about Atlanta until this whole project came to life, so it's been enlightening to hear. I was telling him I grew up in a town that was this size. It's a small little town, so neat area, and great to be able to just bring this event to life. We know it's new, and stepping back a little bit, one of the things we wanted to do when I took this role and we started adding new members, Derek Arrowwood from Hamilton Heights Superintendent, and Dave Monday from Sheridan Schools. We were representing a lot of Cicero and trying to bring commerce to them and to Sheridan, but when we combined, we looked at ourselves and said, well, you know what, we need to make sure that we are doing things to help commerce in other parts, such as Atlanta. And that's where my education started to come from my board members who were educating me on this. And of course, the railway situation took a life of its own, and it's been very political. I know at Noblesville, they 400 or 500 people, standing room only. It's the last luncheon we had was probably one of our largest luncheons. Even the mayor from Westfield came in. So lots of talk about trains. So that's where we're at, kind of starting to bring this together. And I want to thank Robin and Jennifer for kind of helping us to. These two ladies here for helping us kind of scale this down. I think we started off with, a plan this big, and we said, well, we need to look at this and make sure it's sized right. We take on probably 4 or 5 major events per year, and that, for our size and 165 members with the Northern Hamilton County Chamber, we think that's reasonable, and we spark some life here and there, and give some new events and try new things. So what we are proposing scaled down, and we think this is manageable. But one of the things I'm going to ask is that we want your feedback and your thoughts on this, because the date of this is June 17th. and you know how you're planning your event here in September, and we plan to have a booth there and help support that as well. But it takes time to advertise that. So we're a little nervous about that. I think the plus side is, Liz Nelson says she's got about 8,000 followers on her Facebook. We've got all these train lover groups out there that have come together, and I think we're going to kind of network out there to pull people in. Our expectation is it wouldn't be what you get for the Earth Festival by any means. We're talking about 3,000 people for our first event. We want to try to kind of keep it controlled, but bring another special event to Atlanta. That's what we want to try to achieve. So we took and looked at it, and I hope I have enough copies. I wasn't sure how many people were here tonight, but this is just a little handout for you. Maybe just to help me talk through it. So we even changed the name of it, and although that says Atlanta Fest, I meant to put Atlanta Express. It's Atlanta Express is the name. Sorry about that. And we've kind of preserved the name Midwest Rail Fest right now. If it works, then next year it can be something more. If we think this is going to be successful, and quite frankly, I don't want to take on anything any larger than I need to. So we've already confirmed Black Hawk Wineries, 2 breweries. We've got 3 vendors already for food. Pizza and barbecue and pretzels and lots of fun activity. Liz is trying to line up the Atlantic Music Hall. The Port Authority, they were actually speakers at our last luncheon, and they have kind of come forward and said that they'll bring in 2 trucks. And I understand that those run on rails. They're not like trucks, which my had said trucks, but they're train of some sorts. So, and then the train display by Mr. Muffins, they want to get that up and rolling. History of the trains, and again, we think that that's going to draw some people here. We have drones that have already been approved, and I apologize, I don't know the exact group that's approved these, and then also radio controlled airplanes. So we have those things already lined up as well. So things are just coming together. We're going to use celebrations to have some kids fun. We've already purchased a trackless train, the chamber has. So that would be a charge type ride. Now our anticipation of whether we'll make anything off this event, we think it's going to be a wash. We really do. We've run the numbers, Liz ran them, first year we think it's just going to be a wash. But it would be a fun event for the community. It's for children. I think we've aligned it well too, because we don't know of any other events on that day except the Noblesville Chamber has the Nickel Plate Art Festival, and that ends at 3 p.m. So ours starts at 3 p.m. And we're hoping, Bob Dubois and myself and Catherine, we connect very well together. So Bob Dubois has 465 businesses under his membership, and we want to just kind of connect with him and help drive this whole event. So the things that we are just trying to figure out are police. Liz is reaching out to them today. EMS, I confirmed that the Jacksonville EMS.
Jackson Township.
Thank you. I'm from Michigan, sorry. They have confirmed with me that they'll do it all for free. So they'll offer all of their services. They'll have an ambulance. They'll have 2 golf carts and all of their stuff for free. So, but I'm with Riverview Health, and those are kind of connections, and they offered that. Electrical. Other than we're not going to have a stage, so music is going to be contained. So our electrical needs we think are going to be minimal probably more limited to the food vendors of whatever they need to run things with. Liz had asked about the community center bathrooms, whether those could be open for the public. She suggested that it might be, again, in trying to manage the budget piece of it. And certainly as this moves forward, whatever way we can share profits, that's absolutely what we would do. And then insurance, we're working on quotes. We've listened to a gentleman in Cicero. He's got a $1,500, but you know, with these Port Authority, with putting these trucks on the rails, that we expect it to be a little higher because the risk is higher. So we're trying to. I know I have looked at contracts for food vendors and various things. We have an attorney also on the board. I'm an attorney too, but I'm licensed Michigan, so we kind of team up, and so we're drafting things of that nature, and we'll make sure that we have proper coverage. Obviously, we're wanting to make sure, but that's an expense to the chamber. There will probably be some tents, and I will go by whatever guidance you give as to the containment of this area, and I know Liz had some thoughts on this, where the beer garden would be, and music and those types of things. And then, so location of setup, you tell us. We'll go by your direction. So, and then it's just advertising, and we're trying to use use our ties, like the Times owes us, the chamber, a free, piece, and so we're trying to say, okay, that's going to go towards this project here. We'll use it for this event. So we're trying to utilize all of our resources to make this fun and to actually make this a nice attraction for Atlanta and for the businesses. And of course, Liz and Steve have been wonderful support, and I think through them have awakened our eyes to a nice event for all of you. So, and then I'll just pass this out. My husband has done all the design work, and he's in graphic design, and so again, we're trying to take an approach of controlling expenses, and so this will be going out on our website. You'll see that Beck's name is on here. I do not know if Beck's will sponsor or not. I talked to Bruce Kettler yesterday, and he sits on Review Health's Board of Trustees. So I've asked for his support, and he has not extended that yet, so I do not know. I know Riverview Health will probably be a sponsor. Perry's business, Cicero Insurance, will also be a sponsor, and Liz is a sponsor as well. So we're starting to kind of get that ball rolling, and of course the faster we can get that rolling, we might be able to edge out some profits. But as it stands with what we have right now, and the cost, and I don't know about police, it's a kind of a break even. We hope not to go backwards. Obviously, chamber, like any other organization like that or government agency, you're just always right there. So that's my presentation on this, and kind of trying to pick up where Greg left off, and kind of come back with kind of more of a scaled project that we think we can manage, and we can start advertising tomorrow, which is about what we need to do to get this thing rolling.
Roberta?
What time did you say it starts?
3 p.m.
Not earlier in the day for the kids that travel to come see?
Well, we're trying not to compete with the Noblesville Chamber. They're having an event there for the nickel art, nickel plate arts, yes, thank you. So, yeah, we were trying not to bump heads with them, because I really would like Dubois to promote the event here.
And what about our garage sales?
Oh, we think that'll help draw people here to your garage sales.
Hi.
I mean, I think they could. The more people that are here and they're just roaming around and have food and go to the
The garage
sales.
sales, people are done garage selling by noon.
Oh, they are.
People, yeah, I mean, they'll trickle in after that. it's not, I don't think that the garage sales are gonna have any,
Traffic.
well, I mean, I don't think that either one's gonna hurt, or if anything, they'll help each other.
Yeah.
I don't think they'll hurt each other.
Yeah, we had originally thought of starting earlier, but again, kind of staffing it and all of that, we had to kind of say who's here and what can we really manage, because we don't want to let you down. I like to be successful at what I do, and I want this to be a successful event here for all of you. I would be
We do too.
kind of burying my head in the sand if it isn't successful. So honestly, that's why I had to say it's going to be what we think we can handle, and with some support from you.
So you're doing are you having the music over in the beer garden, which is gonna be over there, right? And then,
I thought Liz mentioned maybe that in front of the hall, that they just move outside and play, or maybe the gazebo. Two thoughts on the music.
Roberta,
The acoustics in the gazebo is terrible.
Is it? Okay, well, we
and that's,
might scratch that. We're gonna defer to Liz or you guys on the music, since
well,
you all
Roberta's
know.
the music hall, so she
Oh,
probably,
Hi, Roberta. You're our new friend.
Every night anyway, so.
Yeah, that's what, does it make sense just to bring everything up?
Yeah, you can bring it out or just let them out there.
Okay.
You know, depends on who wants to pay.
Yeah, well, I'll get your, if you'll write your,
If it's raining,
if you'll
yeah.
write your name and number right there, then I'll call you and we can share some ideas on that.
That sounds wonderful. Again, we'll take your guidance on a lot of this location of things.
It will be closed.
Andy's gonna be gone. So that's why I'm trying to ask questions now, is because, like, 4 to 6 food vendors, where are they gonna be? Because, we're gonna have to get up electrical services and.
Consolidate them all together.
And Jennifer and I are gonna be going to the conference
That way you
until
only have to worry
Thursday.
about one electric, you don't have to get all these.
Where would be the best step, Main Street or in another area closer to the park?
Park goes to Main Street, and the issue is if you need power, the kind of power we provide our food vendors, they will have to be on Main Street.
Okay.
That's the only option.
All right.
But the thing is, you don't want them to be, you don't want it to be sparse either, though, right? And
Yeah, how many
You're
vendors
talking
do you
4 to
guys?
6
Well,
food vendors. If you
we're hoping to
do
have
4
at
food
least
vendors
10.
per block,
I mean, as
So-
far as besides food
or
vendors.
per half
The
block.
other
Oh.
vendors that are coming in, do you?
Well, I'm
Which is how we
hoping
usually
we're
land
gonna
out there,
have some
festival.
other vendors, yes.
Like to
So
sell
I would
their.
just pick
Yes,
sell
to
things
sell
inside.
goods and stuff, yeah.
Say this is gonna be
Because they
the
could-
area that will
But
have that
we
stuff.
won't be able to provide them electricity.
No,
No, no.
but they could do that as their, if they keep it in the, contained in the park and do just the food vending.
And so you know, depending on where the food vendor goes, they will need up to 175 feet of cord.
Just make sure your
Okay,
food vendors know that.
175.
And it's,
Oh, okay.
and if, that's for we have 220, there's one 220 outlet and one 110 outlet. So the 220 cord, most food vendors are running 220, needs to be 6 gauge cord.
We have a picture of the plug.
And the plug that they will need, it's a 50 amp plug.
Will you be around, Murray?
Yeah, I just checked, I'll be.
No, this is helpful to us. It's all new, but not,
Sure.
events aren't new for us. We do the Taste of the Holidays, and we do the golf outing, and we just did a huge recognition banquet and casino night event, and drew close to 120 people to that, and it was just really a nice, fun evening, so, we think we can manage this, and I feel comfortable with it.
It would probably be helpful for you folks to pay a visit to town sometime soon and to look at where the electrical outlets are located.
I believe, excuse me, I believe we have a sketch of that,
Okay.
and Liz has that.
Okay?
So, because we did have, Greg had
But
one
he
too.
wouldn't know where the electrical.
No, but he didn't, but does Liz know?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
No, okay.
So
Well, then
can you-
maybe what would be the best for us to do?
Can we task Liz to get that the electrical information from you all, and then,
It would be,
email it.
what would be, I mean, we do a actual map, and we place our vendors, you know, where they're gonna be on this map, so maybe if you guys.
We can connect.
I mean,
with you.
yeah, I mean, if somebody
Yeah.
wanted to come up and talk to me and Jennifer, that wouldn't take that long.
I think it's great, I'd like
Yeah.
to next week.
Yes,
Yeah.
because, yes. And we'll do all of that, and if you give us the green light, we're gonna start advertising it as fast as we can.
But I'll, whatever day
Catherine,
suits
yeah.
both of you, will come out.
Well, we probably better make sure that Andy's gonna be here.
Okay.
That way we can have,
Spend
that way
the-
when he leaves, we can give everything to Murray and, I mean, Murray's done
Festival
it
food
enough
vendor
too.
rules, has that all, that stuff's all in the festival food vendor rules. Copy of that?
No, I'm talking about for when they're,
Yeah, right, I know, but I'm saying specifically
Where they're
for
located.
yeah,
anything having to do with it.
that's true.
It says Brenda has trash collection.
Yeah, Liz, who said that? Was it Liz? I think it was Liz that was talking about that, so, some type of grant or something, somehow we would have that covered by Brenda.
Brenda's amazing, she can do
She
everything.
is.
The only other thing that came to my mind that you might wanna try to figure out is that 3,000 potential visitors to
How does that
town.
work around here? Does it,
Well, at the Earth Festival, there's a few properties around town that rent out parking space,
Okay.
but
that'd be another expense.
that'd be something that would need to be coordinated to make sure somebody's, that's available somehow.
So we can get the names of those folks?
People's yards.
Yeah,
Normally what they do, they just try to get as close to the event as possible. They can, there's lots of large fields available out there, and if they want to get closer, they can just,
That's on private property.
oh, yeah, well, it's,
Yeah.
most people charge them a small fee to park their car on their lot.
Okay,
you might be able to talk to the, All Diamonds. If you're gonna have your little train anyway, they could charge people to park out there and you could shuttle them up.
okay. Oh, okay.
That's what they do during festival. They don't do a train, but they shuttle them up here.
Okay.
But
Probably most of the people who are gonna come to this Atlanta Express have probably been to the Atlanta Festival before. So they're gonna be aware of the procedure, how to park up here.
Okay.
So I don't think it's gonna be that big an issue.
Okay.
Well, it is if the
If
people
nobody's
that are
offering
private
parking.
property aren't
Well, yeah,
interested in.
I'm assuming
aren't
that if people,
interested in.
have to be willing to, park,
Yeah.
but,
So we could get it, some names and contact those folks?
well, I don't know if you can get names,
Yeah, we could,
What about the ballpark? Who would we get in contact?
I can get you guys phone
Okay.
number.
That would be the main one.
I don't know if it depends on if they have events going out there. Probably.
Well, we hope that this is a great success for the town of Atlanta and that the longer term, it brings you more money and more growth. And
Sure.
I know the Nelsons are interested in growing and they're
Sure.
good investors in your community and they've reached out and where we can get free services to help offset some of these costs that you're talking about here earlier, I think it helps everyone. And our job as a chamber is about commerce and making it grow. That's what we want to do. It draws in new members for us, and we want to showcase that. So that's how we keep alive. So.
Already, we want to thank you folks here because you have done wonderful by us as far as being a member, and we're just really excited about what we want to do here for you and to grow this area. Because I think with Mr. Muffin's trains, and I think it's going to help, and we want to be part of that and help you.
And it was great to announce at the last luncheon that the town of Atlanta was
Yes.
represented today.
Yes.
So it was good. We
That was
appreciate
good
it.
food.
It was good food.
Do you guys think that the bathrooms at the shelter house can handle 3,000 people?
better have it.
So we're gonna need, yes, about how many do you think we,
There's one stall and one urinal in the men's bathroom, and there's 2 stalls in the women's bathroom.
Okay. So that
So
gives
it's
us an
4
idea.
porta potties extra plus, or
You
6.
should come take this to me and get a trailer.
Yeah, those trailers are very nice.
Yeah, I thought Greg had done that for you guys at
They
one
could put
time.
the
I think we have one, but then we factored in that cost, and that's where Liz says, okay, now we're going in the hole, which we, again, can't do, so she said, let's ask for the community bathroom. But I do understand, we gotta have bathrooms, and if we have to do something, you know,
We'll have to look into that.
yeah, so we do have a quote, I wanna say that Liz read something about an attendant, and we're trying to piece it together, cause
Sure.
Greg kinda was, he had to deal with his situation in his life, so we were kinda like, oh no, how do we pull this together, but Liz has all of his stuff.
Well, and we have attendance for ours, but it's much bigger, so you may not have to, I mean, maybe because one of you guys could be the attendant that just goes in and checks.
Yeah.
So you wouldn't have to pay for that.
My husband of 22 years. It just drags along to every event.
Poor guy.
He's like, I gotta man the bathrooms too now. Oh, yes. Other duties as assigned.
For better or for worse.
Yeah, hopefully it's more better than the worst. Bathrooms might be my ultimate blow for him, but it's all good.
I was standing here for.
Are there other questions for us? Hopefully we get you excited about it.
Oh,
We think
yeah.
it's gonna be fun, and we're in it, obviously. We drove out and wanted to keep it rolling to what we could do, so.
What a pretzel.
Start small and then grow, right?
That's what we wanna
Keep
do,
with you.
them coming back.
definitely what we wanna do.
Do you all have any questions?
If you do, reach out to us,
We
you
will.
know, we wanna do whatever we can, grab a business card or emails and, first, got papers everywhere here.
And
Robin knows
Robin
how to
and
get hold of
Jennifer
you.
both know how to get a hold of us,
Yeah.
that's for sure.
I'll just leave some cards here if you
Thank
need them. Or anything from Riverview Health, just let me know.
Sponsorship.
Little plug for my business there, so.
What did you need?
Sponsorship money.
Sponsorship.
Oh, yeah, they're looking for,
And we are trying to get Riverview up here for our public health and safety area, and we are struggling. Who should we talk to?
Who are you talking to? I'll have to look on my email. This year, they decided to do electronically, so you know.
Oh, I know, we've got that
Yes.
whole process, it's messing us up
Yes,
too.
it is.
I filed for all of the stuff for Northern Hamilton,
it's
County
taking
Chamber,
forever.
and then they parceled it apart and the system, and so it's new. So they're trying to control it.
computers.
Yes, but if you connect with me and tell me
Yeah, I'll
who
Jennifer
you're
can
talking to, then, cause I was talking to Seth Warren, our CEO, on Monday, telling him I'd be here tonight and, you know, wanna continue to make partnerships and that type of thing, so. And he's just 1 year now, with Riverview, so, like, he's getting to know people and the connections, and I know he wants to grow that as well, the partnerships, so.
We'll have Jennifer get a hold of you then.
Okay, sounds excellent. Well, thank you for having us.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
so much.
You're welcome.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Have a great evening.
We don't charge for that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
If we could have the least one way or the other, that gives us more visibility. More visibility, we can call it. Oh, okay, Karen.
Okay.
Thank you.
Uh-huh.
I want to keep it with my phone so I know you know.
Any other old business on the floor tonight?
I'm not sure. I have some questions. I'm not exactly sure how this works. This is my first time, so
Okay.
forgive me. But I do have some questions that I wanted to address. I don't know when I'm supposed to do that.
I'll tell you what, we'll do that right now.
Okay, thank you.
Sit there,
I'm so
bench
sorry.
your
I just didn't want my time to pass and then
Yeah.
have to bring everybody back around.
Yeah.
So hi, my name is Camisa. I'm actually new to the city. My fiance and I and our kids just moved down 230 South Indiana.
Okay.
And so I have some questions, and I'm not sure if you guys are the ones who are supposed to answer, or if I need to go somewhere else. I'm learning. So forgive me if I ask silly questions. So there are a couple things that I wanted to ask.
Sure.
The first one is our property does not have a mailbox. So we weren't sure if it was okay for us to put up one, or if we had to have a post office box. We would prefer to have a mailbox. It would just make our life a lot easier. But according to our neighbors, they said that previously they had asked if they could get one, and they were told that they could not have a mailbox.
That's the post office that determines that.
Okay, well, they told us that it was okay. So if they said it's okay, then we're good?
Well,
You have to put it over in the corner.
you'll have to be it'll have to be over on the corner down the street from you. It won't be
Okay,
in
so
front of
it
your
does have
house.
to be over there?
Yep.
On the
Okay.
route.
Just out of curiosity, is there a reason why it's set up that way?
Because that's the mail route. We don't have anything to do with that. That's
Yeah,
the US Post
The
Office.
carrier does that.
The carrier
That's
does
cool,
that.
then
Their route, they
I
have
can
to-
talk to them, and
yeah.
as long as we can put one out, we just wanted to make sure it was okay before we spent our time and effort putting up a mailbox that we have to take
You
out.
see there's 5 of them on the street?
Yeah, we saw them, and we thought it was a little, we'd
Yeah,
never seen
that
that
gets
before.
a bunch of people right there.
Yeah, so, but that'll work for us, we just wanted to make sure it was okay. Another one is that we are actually working on getting a fence put up in our backyard, and we just wanted to see if there were anything that we had to do with the town.
You
if
need a
there was-
permit.
Okay, so we need a
That's me.
permit, and our fencing company should handle that, I do believe, I spoke with them before. But so other than the permit, are there any other guides or regulations that we have to abide by?
Depends on what you're doing.
Just privacy fence?
Yeah, I mean, depends on how far, I mean, your situation, a 6-foot fence can't go past the front of your house. So, I mean,
Okay,
it
we just went-
can't go all the way out, it's gotta be at least 2 feet off of the alley.
Okay, that's easy.
You can go up to the property line, but no, when you put a fence on the property line, your neighbors can't attach to it, so I just
Okay.
let people know that because it's happened before, and then the neighbor gets mad and wants us to do something about it, we can't, it's the law.
Absolutely.
So if you're worried about that, I tell people to put a little bit off your property line, you know, but some people care, some people don't. Any fences out front can't be over 42 inches tall.
Okay, we're just looking at fence in our backyard, so.
Yeah.
I think we'll hit all those.
Putting up chain link.
And the permit's only $10, it's just so we can make sure everyone's compliant with the various ordinances.
Absolutely. We're actually looking at doing like a shadow box, so it would be all wood fenced in around, there wouldn't be a chain link, but, I just wanted to make sure we were okay with that. Another one I wanted to ask is I see that there are sidewalks kind of intermittent around the town. I wasn't sure exactly who is responsible for the upkeep of it, if we're supposed to be the ones to take care of that. And if we are, it's exciting, because we would love to keep up with everything, but I just want to make sure that we are the ones that have to take care of it. Is that correct?
Well, yes and no. I mean, it's the town sidewalk. If you take it out, it has to be replaced.
Oh, we don't
There's
have to
new
take it out.
federal laws in place with the new ADA laws. We can't remove sidewalks anymore. So, I mean, technically the town owns the sidewalk. Your property starts behind the sidewalk. But there's specifications if you would want to put a new sidewalk in.
No, there's just like some overgrown area, and I just wanted to make sure we are okay to
Oh, yeah.
fix it up and make it look pretty.
Yep. Absolutely.
Okay, wonderful. On the subject of our property starting behind the sidewalk, there is an easement, I've been told it's called, in front of our property where it is gravel.
Well-
Does it have to maintain the gravel? Can we take that out and put out grass? Wonderful. With that also being said, there's very limited parking, as you all discussed. We want to see if it's okay for us to be able to pull into the front of our property over the sidewalk, not parking on the sidewalk, but actually into our property in front of the house. Is that acceptable? Is there anything that we need to do for that, a permit, anything along those lines?
No, I mean, the driveway can be put in there.
Okay, so if we just wanted to take out the gravel in the front and pull into our yard, we're good? Okay, awesome, that definitely helps.
The only concern would be is if you didn't actually have a driveway that track and mud and stuff like that, so, yeah, I mean, in the winter, somebody was doing that over a couple streets over, that we had to address the amount of mud that was actually on the street.
Oh, yeah. No, we want to cement the whole thing in, but I just want to make sure we could do it before, again, we wasted our time and effort. Because of the parking being limited, our neighbors keep parking in front of our property, and we don't think that's fair, but it's also technically public land, so.
So is their front yard.
Well, that's actually another thing I wanted to bring up, if it was okay if I pulled into their front yard, but, I mean, sounds like I would be within my rights, so, but we're just wanting to fix all that up anyway, because we wanted to have a place to put our trash cans, so we don't really have a place for that. But that pretty much covers everything that I wanted to, so.
If you have any questions, just call up here.
Will you tell me your name again?
My name is Camisa. I actually think I spoke to you on the phone not too long ago.
Yeah. Kim, will you spell?
Yeah, it's Camesa,
Okay.
and my last name's Wright, with a W. All right, well, thank you so much. I really appreciate your time. Have a good day.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Enjoy Atlanta.
Thank you.
Yes, welcome to Atlanta.
Oh, thank you. We lived in Arcadia and in Cicero, but this is the first time we've made it this far up. But happy to be in a small town to meet people in no places. So, thank you.
Welcome back.
Yes, she was. Unfortunate. Having to deal with what she's dealing with. Okay. Next order of old business, not noted here on the sheet, but I want to revisit a subject concerning the golf diamond. Steve Berzinski, I can never pronounce his name, was here at our last meeting. And there was some discussion about a batting cage that they're wanting to install in center field. And I know we had, there was some discussion about that, and we never moved on that. It was just, we talked about it, and, but we never made a decision. So it was kind of left undone. And, like I said, I'd like to revisit that tonight and discuss, what they're proposing. I went down to the ball field and looked at the location of this batting cage that they're wanting to install. It is out in center field on the outside of the fence. And what they're proposing is they want to pour concrete pad and then install their batting cage on that. They want to cover the concrete with turf. They received a donation of AstroTurf that they want to place on top of this to act as a buffer. But anyway, like I said, I'd like to revisit that. It's open for discussion.
How do they plan on getting the concrete back there?
I assume that a truck, concrete truck. I
Well-
don't know if they'll drive it back there, or if they'll use a buggy to buggy it back there, but,
Here's the caveat, it does not meet our zoning requirements. Their setback is not sufficient. That's why I suggested having it up by the parking lot.
okay, I looked through our zoning book, I'm not, give me some direction here.
Okay.
But
You have to. This is why I told them this. And the last batting cage we had put up without a building permit was put on someone else's property.
I'd be a little concerned too about seeing a truck going back there, because I know when we put those tiles in, I'm not sure it would carry the weight.
Well, there's also the sewer lines that run right through there to the entrance of the ball field. And those things are heavy.
Yeah, but I'm talking about in the
Well,
field.
it gets so wet back here you can't even mow. That was the other thing I tried to let them know. So the ball field's actually zoned agricultural.
actually, it's not.
Actually, it is. Unless it got changed. Well, let's see. Okay.
It's
Well,
special.
We'll see what the,
Commercial.
all right. We will change that one.
I'm turning into an ice cube.
I am too, I'm frozen back here.
We can turn it back up.
Minimum rear setback is 12 feet plus the buffer yard. So we
Setback for what?